आप मुझे ये बताइए कि आप में से कौन-कौन ये सोच के आए थे कि कर्टन ऐसे खुलेगा और एक मंच होगा और मैं आके बैठूंगी। हाँ जी। तो आप खुश हैं या डिसअपॉइंटेड हैं? वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड।
At that time, the first thought was logistical. A lot of things were all over the place because none of us, this team that has made this album, this series, it's a first time for everyone in the respective roles that they were playing. So we were not honestly very organized. We were struggling, with a lot of deadlines. We were not ready with a lot of things. So those were on top of my head.
That was the producer side of Kaushik. She had to do everything. I saw her writing on her iPad notes for her songs and then turning page to schedule wise. अच्छा ये date पे busy है, ये date पे busy है.
Checking subtitles and full stops and commas and edits, and every single note has to be right, what kind of mixing that we are looking at, what the end slet is going to be like, logo, this, that, the other.
It's not a fascinating job for a producer.
True.
But it's the most thankless job also.
After that producer's job, I would go back home, and in that empty room, I would again start practicing with my water bottles to hold the mic stand, sing, move, remember tracks, orders.
From a classical vocalist to a vocalist who was doing punk, the technique that she went through was humongous. The number of hours she put in was humongous. What all to change, what to do.
By the time we will finish all of that and I will go back home, my mind will be racing with the thoughts of, I cannot forget the role that I have to play on the 11th of July at Royal Opera House on stage, performing as a singer. I can't be doing the producer's job fantastically and then fail on stage as a singer.
Now I'll take you back, jog your memory, to one day. Forget everything else. Concentrate on the one day. You have woken up. Today is the day of the Royal Opera concert.
Oh my God. Scary day. I just don't know who I am that day.
But you have done thousands of concerts in your life.
No. My God, no. That day, I don't even know who I am. Am I the producer? Am I the singer? If the singer, then what's the definition of that singer? Because that singer looks, feels, sings, thinks, breathes differently. If I'm the producer, then I'm supposed to know, who's arranging lunch, how many water bottles, backline instruments, invitees are coming, who's receiving whom. The night before, seating is being done. Important people, everyone is important, but the first row has 12 seats and there are more than 12 people that are important to me. I don't know where to sit them. On so many levels, so many people are struggling with their roles because they're all new. Oh God. Torches not charged, half of them are not working. So stickers, who's bringing what? I can't even say enough.
At one moment, I was quietly sitting in one of the benches, till then empty. People hadn't come in yet. the thought occurred to me, all this is happening because stories were to be told that evening. And a tinge of sadness that whose stories I would be saying, they would have no idea about this. And that is where my biggest high is, that I was going to do a performance of stories which were not performances. They were everyday life. So these were a myriad of emotions going on that day.
Too many things.
At that moment, you're regretting your role as a producer?
No, I am, my brain is doing fireworks. I'm enjoying every moment of it. I'm very scared.
1, 2, 3, 4. Good. This will go down forever.
Hey, you don't have the right to say that.
People were coming, going. It was like I didn't even know that people come and met people before a concert. This was a news for me. I'm wondering that this guy should be in the audience on a chair. What the hell is he doing behind? So there was a lot of people, there was this thing, and I could hear a lot of walkie-talkies. And I could see who's come, what's happening, this thing, sound, this thing is not playing, this thing playing. And I'm saying that if I play the role of the person who usually I play in a laboratory, I will collapse. So I let it be. I let it go. It's like, look, I can't be hearing this seriously. Something will work out. And then if Kaushiki is cool about it, like, what the hell am I complaining about? She's the one who's experienced about it. I am not. I guess as and when the time came and gradually the humdrum died down, and the audience started coming in, I could make out. I felt, oh my God, it's finally happening.
Namaskar.
So there's this introduction and there's this Gulzar Saab's speech.
वो पंछी है पंख दोनों खोल के उड़ना आसमां को तोड़ के उड़ना वो पाखी रे गीली गीली धूप मिलेगी पत्ती पत्ती ओस गिरेगी सोच समझ के पाँव रखना परों के नीचे छांव रखना वो पाखी रे वो पंछी मैं उनकी कामयाबी की दुआ करता हूँ और दुआ करता हूँ और देता हूँ और उनके और मौसीकी के बीच में नहीं आऊँ उन्हें करिए शुरू कर.
That voice generally calms me down. That day it fails. It's nice. I'm trying to tell myself this is so soothing, but something says no. Nothing is soothing at the moment.
Kaushiki, तुम तो नर्वस तो नहीं हो?
मेरे हाथ इतने ठंडे पड़े हुए हैं कि मैं बता नहीं सकती, हाथ पैर कांप रहे हैं और मैं सामने देख के खुश होना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन सामने देख के मुझे डर और ज्यादा लग रहा है.
उनको बता दो कारण पहले क्यों लग रहा है कि दिस इज हर पहली बार प्रोड्यूसर बनी है वो. अभी तक तो स्टेज में जाके गाती है, कोई और काम करता है, फिर पहली बार प्रोड्यूसर बनी है. So when you enter stage, what do you see?
I see people, a lot of people, a lot of known faces, a lot of important faces. I see families, friends, contemporaries, seniors. But I don't think I notice any of them. it's just a very like a basic overview that there are people.
बैठी हूँ मैं नैन बिछाए, बैठी हूँ मैं नैन बिछाए, राहत के नैना, राहत के नैना, शाम ढले आना, आना, रात जले आना, बैठी हूँ मैं नैन बिछाए, बैठी हूँ मैं नैन बिछाए, राहत के नैना, राहत के नैना, शाम ढले आना, आना, रात जले आना.
That day, musically, did you stumble on stage? Musically.
Oh yeah, many times, many times.
Anyway, the technical demand of a classical music concert cannot be as intense as that of a concert with a band. Two tanpuras, one harmonium, a tabla, a sarangi, a vocal mic. Total 7 to 8 channels. These are more than 175 channels. With backscreen projections, with syncs.
I think what was a bigger challenge was to follow the orders, the sequence, how many times each line, where is that
Repetitions.
filler coming, where is a longer gap, where is a shorter gap. So I tried to make notes of that, but it's like, then I didn't want it to feel like I'm reading the songs. So the counts that were coming, sometimes the count was for another interlude, sometimes the count was for me. So I had to remember which count is for me. So Smith's voice continuously, okay, both ears in ears. I'd never used them. So I was feeling everything was closed. So projection was...
Disconnected also with
Projection
audience.
was also an issue. Like, yeah, disconnection, but disconnection I didn't realize until I was on stage with the audience.
My first time, if I'm being absolutely honest, the focus was on multiple things. I was not listening to music.
You were doing some sync also,
yeah,
na?
yeah, everything. I was focusing on sync happening on time with the, because Baba was not my Baba. Kaushiki ji's father was not there for the concert. So, and our daring ambition was not to time code anything, but गाना बजेगा उनका vocal time पे होना चाहिए. Savni was sitting under the stage, ready for the space bar. She had a cue in her ear.
कोई तारा यूं बुझा न मुझसे
It synced, right?
Yeah, it's synced. So we were happy.
मेरे सुरों में
जो चांद पिघले,
मेरे सुरों में
जो चांद पिघले,
मेरे सुरों में जो चांद पिघले वो तो है तुमसे जो मैं गाऊं सुनाऊं वो सब है तुम वो सब है तुमसे.
And Dan, if you remember that goof up,
Chand Sakare. We've been practicing this song since morning. How many times? I don't know. And I think we practiced that song the most. It was on track because we wanted that chorus to be bigger sound. And for many other layers that were not possible to be kind of created on stage live because too many layers had been recorded in that song. Once we miss one cue and one line goes wrong, Rick tried his best. He was singing in my ears that, you know, this is the next line that's going to come. But the song is such that the same tune comes 2-3 times with different words. So he was singing the tunes. Of course, he doesn't know the lyrics. So I didn't know which line it was. So we had to stop the song.
बचपन में ऐसा हो जाता है. इट्स ओके. हमने हमको माफ किया. लेट्स स्टार्ट.
ये बच्चों के साथ होता है तो ठीक है, हमारा होता है सोच, हालत सोच.
हमारे अंदर भी बच्चे हैं ना, ऐसा सोचना चाहिए कभी कभी और माफ़ करनी चाहिए अपने आप को. ऐसा भी क्या है, गाना बजाना कर रहे हैं, थोड़ी ना कोई क्राइम है. हो जाता है वो सबसे.
Let's go again.
अंकल जी ने रोज़ कहा मुझे, रोज़ एवरी डे आई स्पोक टू हिम. नाउ यू नो हु अंकल जी इज. अंकल जी एवरी डे टोल्ड मी. तो वो गलती से डर लगता है. मैंने कहा बहुत डर लगता है. तो वो कहते रहते थे जब तक गलती नहीं करोगे, जब तक भटकोगे नहीं, जब तक उल्टा सीधा घूमोगे नहीं, तुमको अपना रास्ता कैसे मिलेगा. कोई बताएगा ये रास्ता है तो तुम चलोगे, और अगर किसी ने बताया नहीं, जो रास्ता किसी ने दिखाया नहीं, तो कभी नहीं जाओगे उस रास्ते. तो इसीलिए हम कोशिश करते हैं कि अलग अलग रास्ते ढूंढें. कभी गिर जाएंगे लेकिन गिर के उठेंगे ज़रूर. ये कोशिश करेंगे कि बार बार गिरेंगे लेकिन गिर के वहाँ नहीं रहेंगे, गिर के फिर से उठेंगे.
That is why you decided to collaborate with me. उसको रास्ता मिला ही नहीं अभी तक, ढूंढ ही रहा है.
And I think for the first time, my confidence of being on stage all my life helped me because I made some jokes and fun of it and started the song again.
man, that presence of mind to make things, joke around, and make the musicians feel at rest. Because I'm sure who was triggering, I'm not going to name, but everyone who was like, okay, there's a goof up launch show, and immediately that burden of failure is removed from your head because it's not failure, it's a step back. So even after that mistake, immediately we performed Chand Sakare. It was banging because everybody was still back to dancing. Everyone had forgotten कि कुछ हुआ था. They remember the joke. They forgot that that joke was there because of a mistake.
Yeah.
You know, in so many classical concerts, I'm sure so many audiences and musicians have seen this, that a tihai doesn't come. The person sitting on center stage, maybe singing or playing an instrument, looks at the tabla player in a way that it was his mistake. Nobody knows whose mistake was that. But what I learned is it's not about making each other look good or bad. It's only looking good together that makes sense.
Which is
and
why you
that
still
makes-
don't know who made
that
that
makes
mistake that day.
music. That's why I never went back to check whose fault it was.
ताना दिन ताना दे रे ना. सुन गाए गुनगुन तराना ये मन मस्ताना. ताना दे रे ना. छंदों की सरगम फसाना लिखे अनजाना. सा गा पा पा दा रे दा पा गा रे सा गा पा रे सा गा Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Can we have all the lights, please?
There's a weird numbness in me. Weird numbness. Everyone's talking, everyone's coming and meeting me, greeting me. Musicians are emotionally overwhelmed, which is also such a new thing for me.
Outstanding, Kaushiki. Amazing.
I was relieved because a lot of responsibilities were done and done in a nice way. I felt supremely confident. Supremely confident. I felt good about myself, which is very rare.
Talk about this. Talk about this.
Which is very rare. I generally don't feel, wow, good job. I really don't feel like that very often. I really felt good about myself.
She was relieved that she had produced an album, which took 4 years. When I'm saying produced an album, not just produced, she produced herself. I think when that Royal Opera House happened, it was like a sense of completion that, oh, it's done. And within 4 days, this conversation that, hey, it's not done. You have 12 cities to go on tour.
So when you said 12 city tour, I decided, okay, 12 city tour. I don't know what it takes. I have never produced even one classical concert in my entire life as yet.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Wow.
So hiring an auditorium, getting government permissions, electricity, generator, I don't know. I've never done that. But I have decided in my head we are doing a 12 city tour.
No, this bomb was actually dropped very slowly. But it was because we were talking about the album and we knew about the series and we knew that, we want to take it live. We started out with one premiere show in Bombay, for which immediately we got Royal Opera House, and there were discussions between her and me saying that, we need to get on a tour. So yes, we started talking to a few people to try and get them on board for ticketing and for all of, to set up the whole on-ground thing. But time and money investment point of view, I didn't want to go all in.
He said bad idea, 6. 5-6 से शुरू करते हैं कौशिक जी. Very politely he tries to put it.
And I kept talking to her, and after 2-3 phone calls, she kept hearing 4 to 6 cities, and then on the third phone call, she said, "You don't think I could do 12 cities?" So I said, "No, you can't. No, why are we only doing 4 cities? Why are we doing only 6 cities? Why can't we do 12 cities? We are doing 12 cities. Now you figure it out how we are going to do. We'll do this." And she hung up.
Then we start making a list of 12 cities. On the basis of what? Banaras is my favorite city. We'll start from Banaras. We thought, okay, whatever cities we like, we'll go there. And we will call people, they will buy tickets, come, and it's ticketed, remember. They will come, buy tickets, listen to punk. Punk is what? Nobody knows.
This is Kaushiki Chakravarti and Shantanu Moitra. Shantanu Moitra is a Bollywood composer. She is a classical singer. They are getting together and making...
Not doing anything which they're...
Making what? There is no definition to this.
I called every person that I know to get a number of the editor itself of the Rolling Stone. And I was like, I need to get on a call with you because this is not going to happen over chat. I made sure that our narrative, the narrative that we chose for punk, was very unfiltered. Like, they didn't adulterate anything. They kept it as it was, as you wanted it to be, which said a lot because you were ready to do like a whole cover shoot and everything, which I don't think you've ever done. Now, the kind of audience we're talking about is chronically online. So they want to see more of this person on Reels.
Now Ram is saying that if we have to block the dates, we have to pay advance to all these venues. 12 venues we have to pay advance, which is around 40 lakhs. Where is the money? So I told Ram, I will pay. Block the venues. And then Ram sends me an Excel sheet.
She called me and she's like, if you're free, can you just see the accounts and handle the accounts and see where we can do the cost cutting and everything? Ram gave me the cost sheet and I saw like 500 batches, hotels were 5-star and everything. And she was like, cut down all the rates.
So as muscle memory, we had budgeted for
Correct.
5-star hotels, for individual Innova car pickups, like
What
like
she
how
usually
we
would
did,
do, yeah.
what she would do. But then we were immediately brought to ground and saying that none of this is happening. Then we started, economizing, the way we look at travel, the way we look at stay.
It is a 2.5 crore project. So we are at minus 2.5 crore because we don't have any money. We did not plan for this. We don't have any sponsors.
जब दी directly call करते हैं, it's like SOS call. She called me at 7:30. I was in Konkan, and she's like, we have to create a pitch deck, and she sent me 5 minutes voice note explaining the punk and everything.
Now I sit with Ankita for days and nights and make a concept note and a pitch deck. She has never done this. I have never done this. But we are making a pitch deck.
It's not just a vague idea. You have to be detailed. You have to tell everything what's your mind, what's the number you are thinking of, how many audience will come. And at that time, I still remember asking what are you thinking? What's the number? How many audience will come? She says, I don't know. And I'm like, how can you assume it? Because it's the main purpose of the pitch deck.
And then when you said that Sangeeta ji wanted to be a part of this, she asked how. So I called her. I spoke to her as I always speak to her, saying that it's all passion. I don't know where it's going. I don't know what the feedback is going to be, but I want to do this journey for myself. And she said, I'm with you. And I realized, okay, this is how sponsorships work. And I'm sure it doesn't, but it did. So then I spoke to Prashant and, those pitch deck was shared and all that. And then Prashant gave me a call with a figure. And remember, in this figure, all the money that has been calculated, there's no 1 paisa for me. There's no 1 rupee for me for my performance. So I told all that to Prashant and Sangeeta ji. That there's so much at stake that I'm putting, but I have some conviction, something tells me that I have to do this for myself.
I'm a big believer in the fact that you should know your strengths, you should know your weaknesses and limitations. My limitation is stage.
Because the first 2 concerts, he was not there. So he said, before going on stage, just pray. What do we pray? We just hold hands and say, yeah, like that. So that's our prayer. So yeah, so that will happen. And MT will trigger the clicks. So वो क्लिक जब आएगा ना, वो टिक टॉक टॉक टॉक, उसमें ना कुछ होता था मुझे. It was just that concert. I would think that everything was closing, whereas I need to breathe bigger. I need to feel, larger than life, all opened up and everything. My energies would close because I would be so tense.
I'm so happy that आज आपके साथ we are performing Punk live. So आराम से बैठिए, चिल करिए, अपनी चिंताओं को और अपने मोबाइल फोन को ऑफ कर दीजिए कुछ देर के लिए, and let's all come together and give a big round of applause to the one and only Kaushik Chakravarti singing and presenting Punk live for all of you. Namaskar.
By the time I was in the second Antara, I started realizing that it's happening. Before that, it was just, get over with it. It's kind of that. Get over with the fear of the start.
When the first concert happened, was happening, first tinge of, do you think I should have been there? Primarily because Banaras and me have a connection, especially my father being from there. But the fear of going on stage was so much like, oh my God, you know what? No.
Audience feedback was less because I think the audience was shocked more than they could enjoy.
Why do you think they were shocked?
They didn't expect this.
बहुत ही खूबसूरत लगा, मतलब जितना अच्छा वो शास्त्रीय संगीत गा रही थी, जितना अच्छा वो कर रही थी, आज उसी खूबसूरती से उसने आज इस कंसेप्ट को भी निभाया.
This is my second time attending her concert. I attended 1 year ago in Toronto, Canada, and that was a classical concert. This was a whole new concept, but I think the voice is the same, the spirit is the same, and it was a very beautiful and moving experience.
সকাল বেলা রাশিদ ভাই গান ভৈরবী আর তোমার ভৈরবী ভজন
আনন্দ হয় কালকে প্রোগ্রাম আছে ও গুড बड़ा खेलन छोटा खेल बाबिश
हम सब ट्राई करेंगे एक सब अपने अपने तरीके से ट्राई करेंगे
আসলে যখন আপনার গান শুনছিলাম মনে হচ্ছিলাম আমি ভগবানকে ফিল করছি মানে গান এটাই হয় আমাদের টিচাররা বলে ভালো গান গেলে পাখি ডাকে এবং সাধনা করলে ভগবান চলে আসে
I think I was also ready, but not very consciously ready. But I was ready to see the shock and the not so prepared state of mind in the audience.
You felt it, huh?
I felt it, yeah, of course. I've been stage, I know. And seeing the audience from stage is a very known perspective to me.
Then after the Banaras concert, general feedback, what is happening and all that. And basically that, everybody is missing you. You have to understand, 4 years of being together, the entire punk team, then the documentary, when it was happening, the whole thing. And suddenly, when a 12 city tour happens, I'm not there. I'm also feeling a little awkward, like something is missing. But I'm very clear this is not my comfort stage. Then comes the Lucknow concert.
So after the first two songs, first three songs, we took that break to talk to the audience and then of course tell the story.
थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू आप सबको बहुत 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 धन्यवाद. कैन वी हैव लिटिल लाइट्स इन द ऑडियंस प्लीज? थोड़ा बात करते हैं. पहले तो आप मुझे ये बताइए कि आप में से कौन कौन ये सोच के आए थे कि कर्टन ऐसे खुलेगा और एक मंच होगा और मैं आके बैठूंगी. हाथ ऊपर कीजिए. अरे मैं देख ही नहीं सकती, मुझे लाइट्स तो देना पड़ा. हाँ, कितना ने सोचा था ऐसा? सारे सपने टूट के खाक हो गए, राइट? हाँ जी. तो आप खुश हैं या डिसअपॉइंटेड हैं? वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड.
I'm like,
Is it happening? Really?
I want the world to end. I just don't know how to react to it. Let's be honest. I just didn't know that. I was not ready for that.
हम कोशिश करेंगे कि आपकी डिसअपॉइंटमेंट खुशी में बदले. हाँ जी.
And then he keeps on talking. So something tells me that the presentation also opened up a dialogue between me and my audience, which otherwise it never did. He said, why do you have to do this? We know you as an image of Ma Saraswati. You come on stage with Tanpura singing classical music. आपको ये करने की क्या जरूरत है? ये करने वाले बहुत है. आपको ये करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. हम ये सोच के नहीं आए थे. हम उस कौशिकी जी को देखने आए थे
जो मां सरस्वती है,
जिनको हम जानते हैं. हम जैसे उनको जानते हैं वैसे देखने के लिए आए थे. And I'm looking at my band members, the same Rick, Archit, Rahul. They are red. Absolutely red. They are boiling. They're looking at me, waiting for me to
give the cue.
Just nod. So then in my head I'm thinking that if anything negative, if it goes anywhere negative, even a hint of it, Punk will be remembered for all the wrong reasons.
हाँ, तो इसीलिए इमेज को ही तोड़ना है. इसीलिए तो आए हैं. क्या ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, जो इमेज है जो बाहर से बनाई जाती है या फिर जो गाना है जो अंदर से आती है? जो अंदर से आती है उसको बरकरार रख के जो बाहर से बनाया गया था उसको तोड़ना है. आप इस तोड़ने के प्रोसेस में अगर साथ रहेंगे तो तोड़ने के बाद आपको दिखेगा कि क्या रहा और क्या टूटा. और जो रह गया वो अगर आपको अच्छा लगे तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, और जो टूटा वो अगर आपको ज़्यादा पसंद है उसके लिए तो मैं आती रहती हूँ, फिर आऊँगी.
She was shaken up. Never in her long career as a Indian classical vocalist had she been ever challenged in a live concert, sitting on stage by an audience.
If I'm going on stage as a live act in front of a live audience, I am answerable to them. And I will value them all my life, no matter what, no matter how many experiments I do. I will honor them. So I said, thank you for trusting in that girl. जिसको खुद ही नहीं पता था कि वो अपने लिए एक पर्सनालिटी बना रही है, एक पर्सोना बना रही है जो आगे जाके उसका बेंचमार्क बनने वाला है. क्योंकि मैंने कॉन्शियसली वो किया ही नहीं था. It happened because of the family that I was born in, the legacy that I was blessed with. जो लड़की साड़ी पहन के तानपुरा के बीच में आके बैठती है ना, उस पर्सोना से मुझे जितना लगाव है आपको उससे भी ज़्यादा लगाव है. तो आपको लग रहा है कि मैं कुछ और करूँगी तो वो खो जाएगी. और ये डर मुझे भी था. लेकिन किसी तरह से मैं वो डर से निकल के आई। और अगर आपका विश्वास हो, आप जैसे लोगों का जिसको मेरे ऊपर इतना विश्वास है, if I have your trust, then I am very sure that how many ever definitions I wish to challenge, I will succeed.
She recounted the story to me. She told me. And I realized two things. One is that I am not being a team player. Independent of this incident, by the way. This already is happening from Banaras. I don't play any instrument with great dexterity for me to be performing there. I can't sing. So what? What is it that I'm going to do? So a very logical thing that Kaushiki said, which she felt after her Lucknow concert, after her Banaras concert, was that it seems very odd that Kaushiki Chakravarti is telling a Shantanu Mitra story. That I understood at that moment is a disconnect. That's too much of burden on a performing artist to tell the stories, engage the audience emotionally, and then sing the songs.
One day I get a message from you saying that I want to come for the next concerts.
However difficult it's going to be, and it was damn difficult for me to be on stage because I'm not trained for that. But I said that is secondary. What's important is the spirit of punk needs to be alive.
नमस्कार गोपाल।
हेलो बुआ। अरे देखो देखो एक नदी बल खा के चली रे, अरे सोनी सोनी वादी में लहरा के चली रे, सारे पत्थर चट्टाने पिघला के चली रे, थोड़ी शीतल फुहारें बरसा के चली।
15 years back, मैं कश्मीर में था। मैंने घंटी बजाई। One lady opened the door. वो सिर्फ मेरी तरफ देखते रहे।
बैठी हूँ मैं नैन बिछाए, बैठी हूँ मैं नैन बिछाए।
10-12 साल पहले हमारा बेटा वो अफवाह हो गया, कहाँ गया पता नहीं, सरहद पार चला गया। तो क्या है, घर पे जब भी कोई आता है तो उनको लगता है कि शायद किसी बेटे का पैगाम लेके कोई आया है।
शाम ढले आना आना, रात जले आना। जो रूल्स ना सीख के जिंदगी को सीखने की कोशिश करता है, वो मैडनेस में एक अलग मेथड है जो अंदर से आता है। कभी नई भोर जैसी, कभी शाम सी हंसी, कभी पवन सी सुहानी, वो हार में बसी।
Can you imagine my condition when I was planning to compose this song? Guru Shishya, Baba Beti.
जो मैं गाऊं सुनाऊं,
वो सब है तुमसे, वो सब है तुमसे, गूंजूं मैं तुमसे, गूंजूं मैं तुमसे।
दर्द को तू मरहम बना, सांस को सरगम बना, तेरे लिए यहाँ खुशनुमा साज है, रोई सी क्यों तेरी आवाज है।
30 साल से 40 साल से वो लोरियाँ चल रही हैं, उसको तोड़ो आप, उसको तोड़ो आप। गिरजा देवी जी बोल रहे हैं, उसको तोड़ो आप, which is why she is getting.
आँखियाँ आगे आना ना सा गा पा पा दा नी दा पा दा पा मा गा रे सा गा पा नी सा गा पा नी वा
तेरे ना सुन गाए गुनगुन तराना ये मन मस्ताना ताना तेरे ना छंदों की सरगम फसाना लिखे अनजाना. One last time सरगम 1 2 3 4 सा गा पा मा गा नी दा पा दा पा मा गा रे सा गा पा नी सा गा पा मा दा नी दा पा दा पा मा गा रे सा गा पा नी गा पा गा धा गा नी गा धा गा पा रे धा सा नी मा गा सा पा दा नी सा दा नी पा गा मा सा नी सा धा सा पा धा मा गा रे गा सा रे पा धा पा गा मा पा दा नी नी सा नी धा धा पा गा नी सा नी धा पा गा मा पा दा नी नी सा नी धा धा पा पा सा नी सा गा नी सा नी पा धा पा मा गा रे सा नी पा गा धा पा सा नी सा रे मा गा धा पा सा नी ता ना रे ना.
Today is very, very important for this entire family because एक एल्बम बनाने में ना 6 गानों का एक एल्बम बनाने के लिए 4 साल नहीं लगता. लेकिन मुझे अपने आप के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंट करना था, अपने आप को चैलेंज करना था, पुश करना था. और वो मैं गाने के अलावा तो मेरे पास कुछ है नहीं. दिस इज़ द ओनली लैंग्वेज आई नो. तो मुझे इसी को लेके अपनी स्टोरी आपको पता नहीं थी.
Story of being fearless, story of being okay to fall down, the story of not wanting to be Ma Saraswati anymore, the story of wanting to be Koshiki Chakravarti, whoever she is, and thankful to the audience for accepting for who she is.
सपना बड़ा अजीब था. कंपनी फॉर्म करके एल्बम बना के ऐसे ऐसे म्यूजिशियंस जिनके साथ खड़े होने के लिए भी हिम्मत चाहिए. मैं खड़ी हो गई बिना हिम्मत के, बिना पैसे का, बिना गारंटी का, बिना श्योरिटी का. I thought I'll do it. I thought अंकल जी ने कहा है you'll fall flat on your face. But बच्चा, that doesn't define you. आप 10 बार गिरेंगे. The 11th time you'll stand up and I'll be proud of you. I believed in अंकल जी. मैंने सोचा गिर जाऊंगी, एक बार गिर के देखते, एक बार बिना सेफ्टी नेट का कूद के देखते. मैंने गाना इससे शुरू नहीं किया था कि मैं सक्सेसफुल हो जाऊंगी इन द कन्वेंशनल सेंस. इसलिए शुरू किया था कि जिंदगी जीने का और कोई तरीका ही नहीं आता, आज भी नहीं आती. So today is the 12th concert of our self-produced tour of Punk. I wanted to say this कि मेरा हिम्मत ये लोग हैं और मेरा भरोसा आप सब. मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहती हूँ कि मैं गलत हो सकती हूँ, मेरा सपना अजीब हो सकता है, बट मैंने बड़ी ऑनेस्टी से कोशिश की.